right. I think we are live, gentlemen.
Cool.
I hope we're live. I got the notifications that we're live.
I got a notification.
I see you on the screen.
You see me on the screen? Hi, Robert. I'm on the screen.
Oh,
Hi, Robert.
I'll see that in like 10 seconds.
Okay. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Ranch, man. This is Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. I have with me Eric California Love McCabe. Just got back from California.
I did.
That was actually really good. I'm
You like
proud of
that?
you.
Yeah. And Robert, he was my partner for one day, McCall.
Hey, that's right.
We were partners at our little DD
Nice.
cookout.
That's awesome.
Sabotage. That's what happened.
We got second place.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I'm not upset with our finish.
Well, I could have played a little better.
It's all right.
It could have been
Could've played
it could have
worse.
been the adult beverages I had because I had a few.
Bobby was a few in.
I did hear that the adult beverages that were for the barbecue were all gone before the barbecue started. So
I had a hand in that, and then of course we had more adult beverages when a few of us went out and had some karaoke.
oh, nice. I think I saw those Snapchats.
Did you? Yeah. So I had some fun
Those
karaoke.
were awesome.
Of course, I love karaoke, so we had a good time. But Eric, tell us, you just got back from California.
I did.
Tell us a little bit about your California trip.
Well, I went out for Riverside. I had gone out in early December of last year to design a course in Riverside, and this past weekend, I went out and did the final walkthrough and put down the GPS coordinates, met with a few city guys, and got the ball rolling there, and everything's good to go. I believe the baskets are shipping this week, so you should be looking for that course to be installed here in the next month or so. And also, while I was out there,
Yes.
I had a wonderful experience.
Yes.
I got to hook up with
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous.
the OGO crew and the Callaway guys. Callaway's out there. Callaway purchased OGO
Right.
last year, I believe it was, last September, I think. And they gave me a full tour of their warehouse, the HQ, so it was funny. He told me, so, all right, I want to take you back here into this room. It's our studio, kind of like what you guys have at Dynamic. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, I bet it's like that.
I bet I won't even know I'm not at Dynamic Discs when I walk into this place. And it was like a full-on studio. Like huge TV screens on the back, a stage, it was like...
That's awesome.
And he's like, if you guys ever want to use it, let us know. Maybe we can
Heck yeah.
do some promotional stuff. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
Oh, man, that would be so awesome.
And then they fitted me for some clubs, which
I bet you that was terrible.
it was funny because my brother.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's a general manager of golf at a course down in Texas, and he hit me up when I checked in at Callaway, and he goes, Callaway? Really? He's like, we play Titleist in this family. That's like me throwing Innova. And we all got a good laugh out of that, and it was funny, and so.
That's pretty
No,
good.
it was a great experience. I had an awesome time.
That's good.
I'm
That's
ready to
super
go
cool.
back, especially
Definitely.
looking outside.
Yeah, it's not great,
it's not great
in
here.
Emporia right now.
Yeah.
I actually played some golf this weekend as well. Not disc golf, just golf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Kevin Schaefer, one of our graphic designers that we berate mercilessly for being a bagger. Right. Although he has moved up this year and played some open events.
Although he is playing the match play and the Next Generation Tour.
That's correct. Still as an amateur, so still a bagger. But anyway.
Still going to dominate.
Yeah. But it was his birthday on Friday, so we went with him and Temp and then Taylor Clark, our warehouse manager, to Iron Horse Golf Course in Kansas City.
Oh,
and,
that place is nice.
It was great.
Yeah.
We had a great time. I did not lose, so mission accomplished.
That's good.
Cool. That's all that really matters.
Taylor shot a 90.
Taylor's pretty solid.
He's pretty solid. Yeah, he didn't play great that day. Kevin shot a 95. I shot a 103. And I probably played golf 15 or 20 times last time.
How many times did you use the old foot wedge?
No foot wedges.
No foot wedges.
I play for real.
I don't know about that.
No. I'm not playing that game. I'm play it as it lies.
I don't know. You look like a foot wedge guy.
Yeah, just bam. And then Temp, I beat Temp by 4. He shot a 107. Cool. So we had a great time out there.
Nice.
Awesome.
Well, I, of course, like I mentioned before, I played Friday night we had a Dynamic Disc kind of a family cookout where we just kind of just relaxed. Everybody went and played at the New Life Church course out there. And then because we're employees of Dynamic Disc, we got to have some discs brought to us.
Yes.
So, matter of fact, I've got your Ballista Pro because it's not something. Eric had given me a captain, and I told him I would give him my Ballista Pro.
I gave Bobby my team prototype captain.
Yes.
Because I knew it was
Nice.
a disc that would suit his game really well.
And I threw the captain a couple times at New Life, and it threw pretty good for me.
Nice.
And then I have my Maverick. Oh, I love that Maverick.
Yeah, you threw that well.
And then the Explorer, which I gave to Robert, and he gave me his captain. So now I'm going to have 3 captains.
Nice.
And then, so anyway, I had a good time. I was partnered up with Robert McCall. Really fun. On the card was me, Robert, Jeremy, Danny, Paige
Pierce, and Aaron Harder.
The best card ever.
Oh, we were a party card for sure.
I had my little JBL stereo going. Yeah, we were bumping, having a good time. So yeah, that was good times. I played nothing else the rest of the weekend because Saturday I was feeling the party that we did the night before.
Yeah.
I bet you were, Bobby. I bet you were.
And then Sunday was, of course, really cold, so we didn't go out and do anything.
Sunday was just spent house cleaning for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
When you got back. So one thing I want to make sure that people remember is that, we have a lot going on. Glassman Open, United States Amateur Championships, Junior World, but Trilogy Challenges. Those signups have already started. We are now at, when I look here, we are at 204 events in 39 states and 10 countries. I want to make sure people know that they can get signed up right now to host one. Those don't start playing until beginning of May? I have to look here. But so you can get signed up to host one in your town. The benefits of hosting one is that if you've never run a tournament, this is a good kind of a starter set, for lack of a better term, for get yourself going in running tournaments. It's a good way to raise funds for your course, for your organization, for yourself. If you want to raise some funds for yourself, it's a good way to do that.
The self-preservation fund.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
If you're a local pro, it makes a lot of sense to do that.
Heck yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So it's really cool. You get 3 discs as a player. You get 3 discs from the 3 companies, all new molds that are coming out. And for this year, we have the Dynamic Disc Patrol, the Westside Disc. I forgot. Anyone want to help me out here?
Maiden. It's the Maiden.
No, the Maiden.
That's right. That's
and
the
then
putter.
The Latitude 64 Musket.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the driver. So go to trilogychallenge.com to get more information about that and get yourself signed up to run one in your area. I also just this morning met up with Nate Doss and Valerie Jenkins. Yep. They were at Radius Brewery. They're doing, again, for the second year, they're doing a collaboration. They also collaborated with Prairie Brewery. I'm so sorry I forgot the gentleman's name that they were there, but there's like a 3-brewery collaboration where they're making a beer for Glassman Open for GBO. And so they start a few weeks early because it's a long process. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, cooking and yeast and probiotic. Anyway, just all kinds of weird stuff. And this one's going to be kind of a sour beer.
Yes.
A little bit of
hoppy, I think.
Yeah, like a sour and a hoppy taste to it. And I tasted it. It tasted pretty good. Or at least, no, I didn't taste it. I tasted some beers that they had that was like
similar to
because they had 2 out, and they're like, do you like this one or this one better? And so, anyway.
And it's going to be called, Slight Headwind Volume 2. So, pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. So, well, if you're just tuning in, this is our live episode 213, live Disc Golf Fans. Remember, trying out something new. So if something goes wrong, if we mess up, please forgive us.
And blame Robert.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
I'm trying.
You've got the little computer.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah. Blame the guy with the computer.
Beep, boop, boop. Settings, changes. That's me.
Modifications. No, so we're trying something new with the live. Just thought it'd be fun to do that. We're not going to answer really any questions that are posted to us live because we have plenty of questions in reserve.
I'm just catching a few as they go.
Yeah,
just small ones.
Robert McCall is on the chat with you, so if you've got any questions there, he can kind of chat with you and keep you up to date. So I don't have anything else to get us caught up in anything. A few more things that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But if you guys are ready, I say we hop into some questions.
Yes.
Let's
do it. That's not working. Yo! All right, so if that was too loud for you, I apologize. Again, this is our first time doing it. I'm trying to work things out here. But we're going to go to SpeakPipe. We have some SpeakPipe questions. Remember, as always, go to discgolfansman.com, submit your disc golf questions. Right now, we have the Google Forms on hold, but we got through like 60 questions.
Nice.
So many people
Ricky
in town.
Paige
Ricky was in town.
Tina,
Eric. Yeah. So if you're not subscribed and you're not so sure, were notified about all these episodes, make sure you go back because there's like 5 or 6 episodes all last week, all the way up until even Saturday. Something was published, so we went through some questions. But this next question on SpeakPipe is from Yoder. Yoder?
Yoder.
Yoder.
The GAM crew. I just got done watching the Arrowhead Experience setup video, and it made me wonder, have you ever considered, or do you have in production, a video about course design? Something like from EMAC arriving at the property to scout, through drawings and planning, and finishing with either a local tournament or maybe a round with some locals and some DD personnel at the new course. I'd love to see the thought process from start to finish, if nothing else, than to get an idea of what really goes into course design. Thanks for all you do for the disc golf world. Keep it real.
So
No, it's all secret.
yeah, it's all secret, top secret. In fact, we have guards around Eric when he goes out to make
That's
sure
right.
no one talks
Locked
to him.
box.
We have a big dome we put over the property.
So actually, Yoder, that's a fantastic idea. So fantastic that we had already thought about it. We actually went out and filmed. It was the
John Redmond Lake.
John Redmond
in
Lake.
Neustron, Kansas.
And we went out and we filmed. I filmed and walked around with him. I asked him some questions, and he, answered different things of what was going on in his mind. And that was going to be our video case study. And then I think some things happened where it's kind of slowed down.
Well, it's not dealing with a city; it's dealing with like a county.
Yeah.
So there's so much more red tape to go through. We're finally in the process now of getting everything worked out and everything moving in the right direction. And as soon as that happens, that next step, Bobby and I will go back out and walk the course when we're putting the ground whiskers in the ground and all the way up to the ribbon cutting, I would assume. So
yeah, so if you want to go to our YouTube channel, I cannot remember. I think it's just called John.
It's also on the if you go to our course design
Yes.
website, it's on there too.
dynamiccoursedesign.com, and it's the first video. And yeah, our whole plan was to do exactly what you mentioned, but it's being a slow process.
It's also a little difficult. I mean, for a lot of times when I'm doing a course design, it's boom, I'm gone.
Right.
I'm leaving. Like for instance, I leave Thursday for Arizona, and I would love Bobby to go and get all of this one on film, but it's really difficult to do that when Bobby has so much other stuff on his plate, and it's kind of a lot of the things are spur of the moment. Like,
And
we're
plus,
going.
yeah, financially, I mean, to have us both go out there 2 to 3 times and stuff like that.
That's
so.
why I just need to get on that companion plan.
Oh, and then I could be your companion.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next one is from Eric.
What's up?
Hey, how do I get golf clubs? Oh, I already did. For free.
Base.
Hi guys, this is Eric from Texas. First question is for Eric McCabe, wondering the update status on the Farm on Texas course that I believe you're working on or at least consulting with. Second question is for Bobby.
We'll stop on the
Cool.
Give us a Flower Mound, right?
Yeah, Flower Mound, Texas. There's this is another one that had a lot of red tape to deal with and moving through a couple different avenues. The course is completely designed. At this point, we're just waiting on city approvals and the construction crew because they're also putting in a path, and I asked them to please put the path in first so I can go back and kind of tweak any holes that I need to that are maybe close to the path or something maybe like some type of safety issue, something like that. So it's still moving. I'm honestly hoping to have that course in the ground playable by late summer.
Nice.
So it's moving forward rapidly. Like I said, it's dealing with cities is a lot of red tape. Even dealing with our own, like Emporia, getting.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like Hammond Park, trying to get the tee pads poured out there. It's been a year in the process, and 5 of them are in the ground. We have 5 concrete tees at Hammond Park.
Nice.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
And there's 4 more to do, but it takes time. It really does from start to finish. So, but it's on its way, and I'm excited about that one.
Cool. All right, let's get the second part of his question.
Hey, what's your favorite type of popcorn? Like buttery or the cheesy or caramel corn or mixed all together? Robert, wondering what.
Okay, mine first. What's my favorite kind of popcorn? I have a lot of favorites. I do like white.
But which one is your most favorite?
I mean, if I had to choose, if I was on
Right
a
now.
deserted island, I would probably
Popcorn's probably not what you want to take on a deserted island.
probably not. But if I had to,
Not great sustenance.
no.
A little salty.
White cheddar.
White cheddar.
I love the white cheddar.
See, that's silly.
How is that silly?
That's silly business.
Because your hands get all dirty.
Your opinion is incorrect.
But see,
is the
Sebastian loves it
internet.
when I eat white cheddar,
Oh, I'm
because then he
sure.
licks the white cheddar off my fingers.
Yeah, I could see that.
Now, but I do like a good kettle corn.
Yeah.
I do like some good Cracker Jacks. What's some of the thing? I remember I thought I invented it, but a lot of people do it. But I used to put like little pieces of candy or something in my popcorn and eat it like that. You know what I used to do that was really weird?
Okay.
I used to sprinkle like cheddar cheese sprinkles on it,
Yeah,
and then
that
I
is
put it in the
weird.
microwave for a little bit and let it kind of melt a little
You're
bit.
right,
And then
that
I
is
eat
weird.
that.
That's just like nachos. You're just making your popcorn into
Popcorn
nachos.
nacho.
Popcorn
Which
nachos.
it's not the worst idea I've ever
Right.
heard.
So anyway, that's good stuff. All right, let's see the other part.
Product you put in your hair. What is it that makes the hair look so good? And lastly,
All right, Robert.
What product do I put in my hair? This was actually an ordeal because I ran out, or I was on the way to running out before we went to Waco. So we were gonna stop.
Yeah.
We were gonna stop in DFW and find some because I only knew that you could get it from the place that I was getting my haircut before, which is primarily found in Texas. But it was way out of the way in DFW, so I was like, that's stupid. I'm gonna see if I can find it online. I did find it online. It's from Dollar Shave Club, and it's called Casual Hair Clay, and that's what I use. I ordered.
There's nothing casual about that.
Oh no, it's extremely
all
formal.
business.
Oh yes, very much business. You know what? When people have mullets, they say business in front, party in back. Negative. I'm just business all over. Just all business. I ordered 3 of them, just because when I would go to get my haircut, I would just stock up so I didn't have to worry about it in the future. And they took like maybe a week and a half to get here, and the tracking disappeared. So I emailed Dollar Shave Club and said, "Yo, I'm about to be in real trouble. I don't have my hair stuff," and they sent me 3 more. I didn't even like. I wasn't complaining or anything. I was just
Right.
like, "Hey, can you give me an update on where the tracking is? Because it just disappeared."
I'm freaking out, man. I do have a few vacation days.
Look. I can take off. I can take off work and not let anyone see my face, or more specifically my hair. But I don't want to. But then they sent some
Lucky
more.
it's been
So,
cold, so you could just wear a beanie.
that's right. I could have, but
You know, we keep pointing this out, and people keep asking, but you're gonna have the last laugh when we get a sponsor, and it's gonna be a hair product, and they're coming right to you.
hey,
That's true.
I'm available and ready for any hair care sponsors, any clothing any you name shoe sponsors specifically. I really like shoes, and I heard they like to sponsor people whose feet you almost never see on videos, like mine, because these are the videos that
We can pan to them at some point.
and I'll just lift them up all the
That's
time.
we'll get a second camera just for the
Just
for
the shoe
shoes.
cam.
Yeah.
Seems important.
All right.
Thanks for the question.
I'm assuming the next one is for Eric. So you ready, Eric?
I'm ready.
for Anthony, if he's there, hopefully.
Oh, it's
Just
Anthony.
kind of if you could talk about the differences between the Escape, the Thief, and the new Maverick that's coming out. I know he loves that disc. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all have to say.
I like how they save the actual question for
For Anthony.
For Anthony, yeah.
So what was the question? But difference between the thief,
Escape, Thief, and Maverick.
which is your favorite and why, Anthony?
Well, the Maverick. Why?
Probably the thief. Okay,
Maverick
but
is-
why the Maverick over the other ones?
I feel like it does everything the Thief does, but better.
Okay, he says that he thinks it does everything the thief does, but better.
Yes, and it's more consistently understable than the Escape.
More consistently understable than the Escape. I'd agree with those things.
There you go. Well,
Nice job, man.
Eric?
Easier to throw, slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's nothing for you, Eric.
There was actually the very
Where?
first one.
Oh, that's true. He asked you about Flower Moon. My bad.
Yeah.
Here we go. Stefan.
Hello, Bobby Brown, CoolDaddySlickBreeze. Eric, what an awesome disc, McCabe, and Robert, of course, you'll get a 1,000 rating, McCall.
My man.
This is Stefan Lindström from Söderhamn, Sweden, and I have a question about coverage. I'm a big fan of the Jomas guys, Central Coast Disc Golf Guys, Spin TV, and all the others that produce coverage for all of us disc golf lovers to enjoy. In Sweden, we don't have much coverage from our domestic tournaments, and if there's any international ones, like in Järva Discourse in Stockholm, Spin TV has been there filming it. I come from a very small town, and this year our club have the honors of being the hosts for Sweden's team championship in disc golf, and it's the second year now that it's been held. And I've been playing with the idea about doing coverage for a few of the cards over the weekend.
Nice.
But right now I don't have any equipment, and I don't know what to look for. What kind of camera is needed to get some good footage? What kind of cameras do you guys use when you're out filming Luck of the Draws or doing any disc reviews? And would you say it's good enough for filming some good quality disc golf? I'm looking forward to hear from you, and thanks for a great show, and keep it real.
What do you think, boss man?
This is gonna definitely be a Bobby question.
All right, so right now when we go film, we have 2 cameras when we do two car coverage. Two camera coverage.
Yeah.
We have the Sony, I believe it's a PXW70, and that is a workhorse. It's really good at autofocus and stuff like that. It's just a nice, small, compact size.
Is that the one we're
That's the
using
one
today?
you're watching us on right now. Is the Sony.
And if it looks bad, that's just because of us, not the camera.
Correct,
It's doing its job. We just didn't really
And I
do our
remember
job.
it's live, so it's going to have a little bit of, and it's not the highest. It's pushing out at 720p. So the other one is the Panasonic AGC90. Now that is back when I was starting CoolDaddySlickBreeze, and that was my
The 80s.
This camera's probably about 6 years old, and it's a really good one too. But it's kind of showing its age. If you were to show the Panasonic footage all by itself, it would look nice. But if you put it up against the Sony that we're watching right now, the Sony would be much more, would be crispier, much more crisp as far as the lines and stuff. Meat,
Crispy.
crispy meat. And so that's what I use now. To say, I get people messaging me all the time, what's a good camera to film tournament coverage? There are so many cameras out there. I would say get the most expensive camera you can afford. Now, if you were to say, well, you have to give me a number, Bobby, I would say if you're going to do tournament coverage, you're going to have to spend at least, to get halfway decent, $330 on the low end. And then I wouldn't say you need to spend more than $3,000 if you have the money to afford a really nice camera. I would start with the Canon. Now, I like the Sony. So the Sony XD Cam line is good, or the Canon Vixia line. That's a really good line. Cool?
Excellent.
Cool. Next one comes from Charlie. You bit my finger.
I hadn't thought of Charlie bit my finger and so. Oh, Charlie.
Disc Golf Answer Man, love the show. So much looking forward to your podcasts. So I have a question. It's going to be quite vague, but
we appreciate
kind of where I'm at.
Forward to your
moment. I
questions.
don't know the details, so hopefully you can be able to answer this for me. You probably spend a good amount of time discussing this, but a friend and I have put together a golf course, and it has 9 holes in it right now. And we're designing a championship level, hopefully a national tour style like course, but it's a ways away, so we're planning for it. So I know that you guys do Glass Ball Open, and love the tournament. So how do you get a course to that point? I know that's pretty much a waiting list of courses that want to do the same thing. And so if you could explain a bit of how you go from A to B for like first few years, and clearly you have to have tournaments and things like that, and have good promotions. So if you could touch on that, so then I can start making a more detailed plan. Very much appreciate it. Well done, boys. Keep up the good work.
Thanks.
I don't know that there's a schematic or a blueprint or a detailed plan. I mean, of course, there's some obvious things that you got to do. Like you said, you got to run tournaments. But, I mean, what year was the first GBO? 80.
Pretty much. Well, this will be, I believe, the 16th.
16th. So it's taken us
16th,
that long now. I know he's
and
not
before that, it was the Emporia Open.
Right.
The Glassbone Open is just when I took over. There was still
people
the
running
Emporia
the event,
Open was in Emporia for years before that, probably since early 90s.
I mean, I'm sure if you were to ask, you're going to get different answers from us three. Even if Doug Bjorkus was in here, of course, event coordinator. He's been running events for a long time, doing a really good job. He's going to have certain answers for you as far as running events. But, gosh, yes, he said it was a vague question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have 9 holes now, so your first step is going to be getting the other 9,
right? Having
the 18-hole course to be able to run events. And like Bobby said, it's not like it just happened overnight in Emporia. It's been a long time coming. It's getting the city of Emporia to realize that there's benefit to having multiple disc golf courses. So it's not about which course in town is quality to use for the event, because I believe we have all quality courses that we're using. We have 1,600 people coming to town, so that's going to take
1,600 players. And
yes,
then,
yes,
Right.
That's going to take
be awesome.
multiple courses to use.
Yeah.
So having the city of Emporia, see benefit in us, having the 9-hole course at Hammond, having the 2 Jones courses, the Peter Pan courses, the list goes on and on. It's not that there's a course out there that we're not going to use it. I think it's just a matter of showing value in it and really putting your blood, sweat, and tears into it, so to speak. Yeah. I mean, it takes time.
Right. Well, and Glassblown has such a huge economic impact on Emporia.
Yeah.
Like that, between that and the Dirty Kansas, those are the 2 biggest.
And the GBO is not even close to as big as the Dirty Kansas.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I mean, once the city sees that, I think they'll be more prone to want to work with you on things like that. Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it real, Charlie. I'm going to keep it real for you.
Yeah.
I would say, to start out, don't even think about a national tour, major, a disc golf pro tour. Don't even think on that level for at least the next 4 or 5 years. You've got so much to build to get there, especially if you're starting out with just 9 holes. I'm not trying to spit or trash on your 9 holes. I think that's awesome, but I wouldn't even have that something in your mind. Yes, it could be something in the back of your mind, but don't even think about, because you've got so many steps you got to take. First, you got to establish an event. Then you've got to get people to come play it. Then you've got to figure out how to go from 9 to 18. Then you got to make people come to that 18. If I hear in about a year or 2 you're upset that Nico doesn't come or Simon Lazat doesn't come to your event and you're upset about it, you're thinking about it all wrong.
Right.
It's going to be very hard to get these big names out there when you're just trying to build an event. You need to get those local pros there. You need to get those local AMs excited about that event. Then build up the cash money there,
not
and then,
just
and then get the pros get up there. So I know that's not a set detailed blueprint for you, but you just got to do the work of running events and running tournaments out there every month, every other month, every summer or whatever, to get interest in there. And then, of course, like they said, show the city that this can have an economic impact on the town. So I don't know if that helped, Charlie. Hopefully it did. Next one comes from Matt.
Hi guys, my name is Matt Wakeman, and today I have a question about moving obstacles. So it states here in the rule book that a player must choose the stance result in the least amount of movement of any obstacles that is not permanent or an integral part of the course. So say that there is a branch that is slightly behind my lie. Can I position my body in front of that, slightly moving it? Or do I have to not move that branch at all, stand behind it, and then throw basically into that branch because that's my only option? Because, the rule book does say it is legal for a player's throwing motion to cause incidental movement of an obstacle. Just want some clarification about that. And, can you position your body slightly moving small branches and stuff like that? For instance, like take the Nantucket course. If you go off the side of the fairway, it's thick in there. I don't see how you can get in there and not move stuff, just by taking any stance whatsoever. So, just some clarification there, and what you guys' thoughts are would be appreciated. Thanks.
What you got for him?
My understanding on that one is that you need to find a stance that affects the obstacles as little as possible. So if say there's a tree in front of your lie, obviously you can't, bend branches down and throw, right? If there's a tree kind of around your lie or a little bit behind your lie, that's still an obstacle that you're going to have to deal with, even though it isn't in front of your lie. So while you could take a stance that moved it a little bit, the goal isn't to go from basket side into your mini. The goal isn't to make room for yourself. You need to approach the lie from the back side of it, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I explaining that well?
I believe so.
If there's a branch that touches your back a little bit, then that's okay. But if you are walking in backwards and bending the branch back so that you can get to your lie, then I think you've missed the point of the rule.
Yeah.
So that's I think just to be on the safe side, just move as little as possible, and that's good.
don't deliberately bend and break stuff.
Exactly.
Obviously, is kind of where it's.
Yeah, and it's all about intent, right? Like
Yeah.
if you get in there intending to move as little as possible and you move something, okay, what can you really do? But I've seen people run and like jump into a lie to clear out some tall grass and sticks and stuff, and like just don't do that.
Yeah.
Bobby.
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't.
You
Bobby.
call me.
He was your partner.
Yeah. I took advantage of that lie as well. No, I did not.
So Junior World invites have been sent out. So if you've been thinking about playing, if you are in the junior age range, or if you have a junior player and you want them to come out, you need to have them come experience Emporia, Kansas.
And the junior age range is 19 and below?
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah. Just so our viewers know.
Sure. Yeah.
They may not know that.
Yeah. So anyway, you can go to pdjjuniorworlds.com and get more information there. But you're really a lot of the information you can find. Well, of course, a lot of stuff on our .com is going to point to PDJ because they want to make sure the information is up to date. But anyway, you can go out there and see how the invites work. Honestly, I don't know. Do you guys know how that works? Is it like I don't know how it works. Do you guys know how it works?
I'm not 100% on it, but
I'm
if
not sure
it's
on the junior side.
Yeah, if it's anything like Am Worlds, it just you had to have played so many tournaments the previous year, and gotten so many points, and that's just basically to kind of set like a baseline so that they're inviting people and giving people the opportunity to play who have invested in disc golf.
Yes.
To where you wouldn't want this to be somebody's first tournament, right? Ideally.
Yeah.
If it is, cool. That's fine. But
Yeah.
But you want to make sure that everyone who has invested the time and has made disc golf a priority has the opportunity to register first.
I don't want to speak like I think this is true, but I'm pretty sure that if you're listening and you didn't get the invite, that doesn't mean you can't play the Junior Worlds.
Correct. You just have to register at a later date.
Yeah, it'll be a later
and that's how
date
they
to
do
be able to
for
register.
Pro Worlds, Am Worlds, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you can go to, like I said, pdjjuniorworlds.com and then look for that players tab, and then under registration info, you'll see the dates, which is, of course, the competition is July 11th through July 14th. And then registration schedule, refund policy, and then the invitation to register criteria. And that'll, of course, take you to all the official stuff at pdj.com.
Yeah. I can't wait for that stuff, man.
It's gonna be fun.
I went and played doubles the other day with Isaiah Esquivel as my partner, and that kid is unbelievable.
Yeah.
He
carried you.
Yeah, he backpacked me hard for sure. Yeah. No, he throws so far with seemingly no effort, just smash.
And they're criminals that he's
right. Yeah, he threw a bio defender on hole 4, just straight over the water, baby hyzer all the way. No big deal.
How far would the hole 4?
To carry the water's probably 440, and
what course?
East.
Oh.
Straight out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Probably 440, 430, and he was, well past the water, probably 40 or 50 feet. Straight shot.
Wow.
No big deal.
It's going to be fun watching some of these kids come out and play.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to let you know, and kind of disappointing news, but right now Anthony is working on Glassbone Open course previews, and he's getting some done.
That is bad news.
No, yeah.
That freaking guy.
Why is he working? No. No, the bad news is there are going to be some courses we're just not sure we're going to get to because they're still finalizing things, and some courses aren't really going to be set up, and maybe you can give me some insight.
Yeah.
Like the Muni courses.
Both Muni Red and Blue aren't, they're not going to actually be in the ground.
Right. OGO and hand-eye courses are not even going to be in the ground until right before play.
Yes.
In time for people to practice, obviously, but not in time for us to get out there and videotape that and do a course review. So I apologize for that, guys, but it is what it is. But we are getting a few of them done that Anthony's going to work on, and Danny and them are going to go film some more. So we'll get those out as soon as we can. But I want to.
And I believe the country club, we hired the gentleman to do the upgrades out there. So the 5 new pins that we're putting in, the new T-pad, I believe that's all happening this week.
Oh, nice.
So maybe that's something we can all get out there and film around at the club.
Yep. All right, let's get back to the questions. This one's from John.
Hey, D-Game crew. This is John from Pelham, New Hampshire. I had a couple questions for you guys. My first one is for Bobby. I absolutely love your Is This Disc Right For You videos. As somebody who really started playing in June of last year, they really helped me decide what new discs to try out. I noticed some episodes on Westside Discs from a few years ago, but I was wondering if there are going to be any new ones coming out with some of the newer molds due to the recent acquisition of Westside Discs.
Okay, so yes, so we have a or a video series called "Is This Disc Right for You?" where I throw the disc, Eric throws the disc, and then you can kind of find where you're at in between there. In fact, we need to do some for the Captain and the Maverick that's coming out.
And the Getaway
and the Getaway. Well, we don't. Well, the Captain and Maverick are like coming out next.
Getaway's
April
a little
13th.
bit.
I mean, the Getaway's 3 weeks away.
That's true. So we'll have to get out and get away. No, we'll have to get out there.
Get out.
Words.
Saying things.
So no, anyway, so we'll get out there and we'll film those once it warms up, which I think is supposed to warm up a little bit next week, and we'll get out there and do that. But yeah, so you can watch those videos and it kind of helps you pick those. We did at the beginning when it was the first idea, we were just going to like do everything. And then we realized that we have hundreds of discs in this place, and we weren't going to be able to do all of them. So we said, well, let's just concentrate on dynamic discs, because once we get those done, new molds are going to come out. We'll have to do them again. Will we do some for Westside? I don't know, because, again, there's 4 molds coming out from DD this year. And then, of course, we like to do the Trilogy Challenge version, so we'll have 3 there. So I don't know that we'll have time to get to the Westside discs, but we're going to figure out some way to get people more knowledge of the different discs. Now, I do know that Anthony has, for the lack of a better term, revived his DG Weekly YouTube channel, and he's actually going to do disc reviews for all 3 companies. So you're going to start seeing those getting pumped out on his channel, which will, of course, include Westside Discs. And Anthony's I'd say he's an average player, average to good, depending on what course he's playing.
Oh,
so
look at him.
I did it.
So he would be a very good person to watch and get good information about that. So make sure you subscribe. DG Weekly on YouTube. Subscribe. That way you know what's coming out.
Yeah.
Next one comes from Rec Rob.
What's up, Rick Rob?
Hey guys, got a quick question for you, or gals, whoever might be in the studio at the time. What is going on when the ratings change for your PDGA rated rounds? When I'm trying to explain to people about ratings and what they got and, what division they're in, common question is, well, my ratings was this at this round, but I looked at it a few days later and it changed. So I was curious, why did it change? Can we predict why it would change, if it would go up or down? I haven't dug deep into the manual or the website to try to find this. I'm just curious, with you guys' experiences, what changes or what makes the numbers flex up and down. So as always, guys, take it easy, and thanks for everything you're doing.
I'm pretty sure Chuck Kennedy is the only person that could answer that question.
Yeah.
Truly.
Right. Yeah. With complete certitude, I agree with you. A guess is that I know that there are places where you can input the weather that day. Like
Input. Sorry.
Wait, what? If it was like
95.
I can't hear that word without hearing Eric
I know.
go, input.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I know that there are places on the forum where you can enter things.
Input?
No, not input. No, anything but that. But like if it was particularly windy, maybe the course par changed from when they entered the scores to what it actually was. Maybe they were just going off of 54 par. Sometimes that changes, sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, ultimately, like you said, I mean, Chuck Kennedy could tell you that answer. Ratings are kind of a mystery to most of us. Yeah. Even if we have bets that depend on them, they're still a mystery. So. Yeah,
but didn't you I don't remember who you were talking to. Was it Waco or something? You
Miles?
Was it? I can't remember.
I know Miles said that he calculated your rating and it was $9.99 or something.
Right.
No, that you were talking to somebody or a group was talking. We were at Torchy's Tacos, and you guys were like, "Oh, it's rated this, but I bet it goes up." Didn't you guys talk about? You guys were talking about that.
That could be during the middle of a round too. Potentially, like your round gets
Maybe that's
done,
what it was.
and then
Maybe
there's still cards out there.
Mm-hmm. And
Anthony said
what I was getting at is that.
It was we were at Torchy's with
Yeah.
like Landon and Miles and everybody.
Yeah, and so everybody's like, I bet you. I didn't know what was the thinking behind that. Why they thought it was going to go up.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No,
and maybe ratings change in between the time that the events were made final.
Yeah.
And then until then, I don't know.
They do change from then to then too. I mean, that's not just because at the end of the tournament when you look at your ratings, that's not always necessarily what the rating's going to be.
Right. So, yeah, who knows?
All right. Our next one came from PDJ number 108. 123.
Okay. I was like, dude, that's a really old PDJ
And then
number.
thank you for the warning, PDJ 108 123. He said the volume came out kind of loud, so heads up. So hold on, guys. Ready?
Thank you.
Here we go.
Hi, the gang. My question is for Robert this week. Hi, Robert. I've been playing disc golf for about 3 months now. I can throw my backhand about 100 feet on a really nice hyzer. And I grow the sport every single day because I post on Facebook and I ask all my friends if they want to come play disc golf with me. Well, nobody's really wanted to yet, but I know someday somebody will. So will you sponsor me? Just kidding.
You just got pwned.
Yeah.
I pre-screened these, so I knew that one was coming.
Yeah. Nice. No. About a couple sentences in, I was like, this sounds like an online application to me.
Hold on. There's more to it.
Okay.
My real question this week is about backhand wrist pain. I get a lot of wrist pain when I throw backhand. And I'm wondering if you guys are supposed to keep your wrist flat, from pullback to follow through, or if you do move your wrist at all in that process. So thanks for keeping it real, guys. And hashtag 1000 no mo.
Oh, 1000 no mo.
First of all, hateful. You're definitely not on the team now. Okay, you're out of here. Okay, so ideally in the throwing motion, I think what you may be doing is having way too much wrist action. What you really want, hey, since we're live, we can do this. Hey, Anthony, would you hand me a disc, please?
Well, we can do it for them.
Yeah. Well, if you're watching this via, it doesn't matter, any disc. If you're watching this on YouTube right now, this is kind of what we're talking about.
Nice Explorer,
when you pull back, oh yeah, super nice. So when you when you pull back to throw a disc, you really want your forearm and the back of your hand to be on the same plane all the way back, right? So when you're pulling back, you want it to look like that, and it stays on that angle until it must move. That's the only time that your wrist should really bend. What you may be dealing with is that you're curling your wrist too much on the way back, and you're causing way too much added action on that. What you really want is for this to be level across your forearm to the back of your hand, and really only break whenever you're forced to, because the disc is so far forward that you can't move your arm any farther without moving your wrist some. Do you corroborate that? Thank you.
Right.
Danny agrees.
Nice.
Sweet Explorer.
Yeah.
So I just saw something on the chat of our YouTube, and I want to give a shout out. Super Detonation says, got you guys on the big screen at Ozone Vapors.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
So if you're watching from...
That's Paul Dory's.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
What up, Pauly D?
Pauly D.
Pauly D? Thanks for doing that,
My man.
All right, let's get back to the questions. This one's from Michael.
Close.
Hey guys, this is Michael from Austin, Texas. I was just wondering how come in some of y'all's retail locations, like Academy and Dick's, that they don't carry any biofusion or fusion disc and only lucid plastics. Y'all have a good day and keep up the work. Thanks.
We shall keep up the work.
Keep doing the stuff.
So you have to understand when we go to those big box stores that they have a lot more than just disc golf. So we can't really tailor to just disc golfers. So at this time we have to put out stuff that it's going to appeal to the masses, if that makes sense. So I would say we want to put forward some of the premium plastics. So when people come across this, the idea is they'll come across and they'll say, "Oh, what's a truth? Why is that guy on there?" And they feel the plastic and they like it and they take it out and they throw it because they just discovered disc golf and they're like, "Man, I really like the way this throws. This is dynamic discs." And then they go online, they search for dynamic discs, and then boom, now they can find out about all the different plastics that we have as far as our molds.
Yeah, big box stores. I mean, I would say the majority of people that are purchasing discs in big box stores are almost beginners.
Yeah.
Or people that are trying out the sport. You don't get too many absolute diehards. I don't think. Maybe there is. Maybe there's in areas where there's not a disc golf shop, or they are the type of people that want to I have to feel my disc before I buy it kind of thing.
Right.
There could be some of those, but I think a lot of them are.
Now, of course, the plan is to.
We'd love to have a full lineup
to take over.
That'd be awesome. But yeah,
have just one wall.
Yep. And all they carry is disc golf discs.
Right.
That'd be awesome. And we change dynamic discs, and we change their name to discs.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I thought you were going somewhere.
No, I would.
Easy, we're live.
Easy,
you're live.
Easy.
Although marketing wise, that's probably a good call.
It's
but
great.
But anyway,
fabulous.
That's neither here nor there. So in Academy, I know that they, we want to give them the greatest selection possible while limiting the SKUs, which are the individual item codes, as much as we can. And so to have a premium plastic, Lucid is the premium plastic of ours that is less expensive between Lucid and Fusion. So I know that's probably part of the decision as well. But yeah, that would it's just a thought.
Next one comes from Andrew.
What's going on, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? Love you guys. Love the show. Quick question. My right hand backhand, after my X step, I realized that I am opening up my stance after videotaping myself, as in my plant foot is going to the right from where I intended it to go, to plant. So it's pulling my disc to the right. I've been trying to correct this, but I seem to be having a hard time. So I was wondering if you guys have any tips that could help me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
I gotcha.
I think a big thing for me, at least on this type of stuff, what I like to do is just slow everything down.
Yep.
Instead of doing your normal, maybe it's a little faster than it needs to be, but just slowing everything down and really working through all your mechanics.
Yep. My suggestion is in the same vein. Just work on standstills for a little bit and match so here's your plant foot, right? You want to match your back foot's toes.
My back feet.
That's a weird one. The toes on your back foot.
There you go.
You want to line those up with the heel of your front foot, right? So that ideally you're slightly closed, and that helps you to be able to reach back straight instead of kind of reaching back at a weird angle. And do that stand still for quite a bit and get the feel of what that feels like. And then you can start doing a one step, and then you can start doing a slow X step and everything like that.
Paint people's feet. Mm-hmm. Like a dance routine.
Yes.
On the
paint those, and
will
then
that work?
Yeah, and then every time you throw, just match those.
Mimic that,
and then you'll
you
win.
can take those with you. Put them down before
you just lay
throw.
down a mat. It's a large towel. Hey, you can throw off a towel.
We're onto something.
I like this idea.
Like jump
Are you
to
writing
conclusions.
it down?
Yeah,
like a jump to
it's
conclusions.
It's a jump to conclusions, Matt. It has different conclusions that you can jump to.
Yes.
God, what an awesome movie.
Oh man, I bet he's kind of looking at us like he has no idea what we're talking about.
Office Space.
Yeah, Danny. You haven't seen Office Space?
It's a fantastic
Oh,
movie.
wow, Danny.
Is that the one that's like, what's in the box?
No, that's wait, is that 7?
That's 7. That's like
wow, 100% different genres of movie.
Brad Pitt. This is like Mike Judge.
The scene where they smash the copier?
That's Office
That's
Space.
Office
They're both in a
Space.
field.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
yeah.
Where the lake is and
okay.
They are-
Okay, so the
fair.
genre is movies that have fields in them.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're all connected.
Field of Dreams.
Wasn't that a section at Blockbuster?
Same genre.
Movies with fields.
Yeah,
in them.
with
when you go
fields.
into Blockbuster, when you used to go into Blockbuster, you just went to the field section.
That's right. All westerns are in that as
baseball
well.
movies.
Yeah.
Baseball movies.
All baseball movies. No basketball movies.
Right.
Forget
no,
that.
Forget that.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is from Jacob.
How's it going, Disc Golf Answer Man crew? Got a question today regarding weather delays. Here's the situation. You're playing a tournament round, and halfway through the hole, the horn blows and everyone is encouraged to seek shelter. What happens after the rain delay or the severe weather delay is over? Do you go to your previous lie and resume play? Does the entire card redo the hole? And then what happens if maybe half the members of the group has already finished the hole and the remaining 2 haven't? I can't seem to find the clear answer in the PDGA rulebook. So if you guys could help me out, that would be great. Thanks for all you do. Enjoy the podcast and take care.
Yeah, good question. I know a lot of people may not know the answer to that.
I have no clue.
We
what
have
it is.
experience in this.
Yeah. Yes.
The last couple of years.
What do you got?
Basically, just stop. As soon as you hear that horn.
Collaborate and listen?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
I believe it's 3 horn blasts is what you'll hear.
That's right.
And that means you immediately get off the course. You can mark your lie. I know a lot of TDs will allow you to like mark it with a rock or something like that. And then when you come back, you don't replay the hole. You just kind of like you took a break. It's just like, so if you have the worst thing for me is when I have to come back and like make a 25-foot putt.
Yeah, you're cold.
Yeah, you're cold. It's wet. It's just okay. This is awkward. I got to make this putt now. That's always been the hard part for me. But it doesn't matter if half the card has finished the hole and half the card hasn't. The rule used to be you have the option to finish the hole you're on.
I didn't know that.
Which is always a weird one because they're bringing you in for safety issues.
Right. Safety, except for on this hole where you can finish.
No, you guys are good. Go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
I think Robert has it pulled up.
Yeah,
you can
so
kind of
the beauty of the internet.
Oh.
Displayed before us.
Behold.
Sorry to put my hand in your face. Okay, so competition manual PDGA 1.07. And it's called suspension of play. And then letters B and let's see.
C? B.
It's mostly just B.
B, let's
see.
B
and C. Yeah. Players must stop play and mark the lie of each member of the group. A natural object is sufficient to mark the approximate lie. So, rock. Something that's going to stay there may be better than a mini if it's super windy or something like that.
Or a flood.
Yep, correct. So there's a minimum 30-minute suspension, and then it says letter C says players shall resume play from their approximate lies as established when the round was suspended. The approximate lie is determined by a majority of the group.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
There it is. All right. We have. It was exciting when I found this out, but. I'm sure some of you know, hopefully you guys know, that we have some Disc Golf Answer Man t-shirts. Yeah. And you guys like us so much that we had to restock them. Ooh. So Denise, our apparel buyer, bought some more, and I was just told yesterday, I think it was, that they are now available online in the store. So you can go out to Disc Golf. You can go to dynamicdisc.com and look for the Disc Golf Answer Man section, and now they have a full run of colors and sizes.
They are my absolute favorite shirts.
And they're so nice and soft.
They are very soft.
So anyway, pick yourself up a Disc Golf Answer Man t-shirt and show that you enjoy, or 3, because they come in 3 colors.
1 for each of us.
Hey-o. So anyway.
That was very Terry Miller-like.
Yeah. What the heck, man?
Oh, man.
I just pictured Terry Miller sitting next to me.
Great. That sucks that this is live because now I can't edit that out. No, along with the Disc Golf Answer Man t-shirts, we actually have some other really cool t-shirts, some B Dynamic, some prototype ring shirts. So if the weather's starting to get warm in your area, pick yourself up a Dynamic Disc t-shirt and hats. We have a lot of different style of hats for sure.
We actually just got in some West Side Disc shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Say Disc Golf Never Sleeps, and they've
With
got
the
an
big
owl on them.
That's pretty
super cool.
Those are cool. I saw somebody post about one today.
Yeah.
All right, back to the questions. Next one is from Zane.
Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man. I have a question regarding forehand grips. So I use a 2-finger pistol, like finger gun style grip for mid-ranges, putters, and fairway drivers when I throw forehand. But when I throw distance drivers, I use a more stacked middle finger and index finger against the rim grip, like Jeremy Colling or Nate Sexton. My question is, I tend to my release point is different depending on 2 grips, and when I use both in a round, I tend to early release the finger gun style grip, and I tend to have late releases with the other type of grip. My question is, should I transition to using 1 grip for all drives I throw, for all forehand shots I throw, or should I just learn to work with the release of both? The reason I went to using the finger gun style grip is because I tend to get cleaner releases with that grip. Thanks.
Nice, good question. Of the group, I throw the most forehands, which is still not a lot of forehands, but more than the rest of us.
True. It's not lie.
I have gone to just two fingers stacked pointing into the rim. That's the grip that I like to use, and I use it whether I'm throwing a putter or a mid-range or a fairway driver or a distance driver, just because of consistency. I've seen people do different grips. I know Nate Sexton kind of does one of these guys or one of these guys or something crazy. He's really good. It works for him. I've seen people put a finger out kind of toward the middle of the flight plate as well. But it's really just what works for you, and I chose this because it was the most comfortable and had the cleanest release for me. So that's what I went with. I don't think you need to practice different types necessarily.
No. I know he was asking, I think he does different grips for different shots.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Oh, it's definitely okay. I just like I like choosing one grip and sticking with it for the sake of consistency.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. I'm confused here.
What's that?
And I apologize to our live viewers. Well, I'm looking at the YouTube, and it says that we're live for 35 minutes.
The YouTube.
I've got 55 minutes.
That's what I thought. And then over here it says an hour and 11 minutes on my little app here.
Maybe because that's been open for an hour and 11 minutes.
That was what I was thinking, but I still don't understand why it says only 35 minutes live on.
That's
YouTube.
Definitely ahead of that.
Maybe this just hasn't refreshed yet. Because now mine just says 56 minutes. Started streaming 56 minutes ago.
It's counting.
It's however much it has cached.
Cached.
There you go.
Can I get some of that cash? Next question comes from, this will be our last question of the episode. This one comes from Steven.
Hi, Bobby, Robert, and Eric. This is Steve from Indiana. New to the game, fairly. I'm
Steven, right?
Still can't get my head around discs that are overstable.
I have a seashell collection. And it's
dude, come on.
Sorry.
Come on. Play the question.
I'm sorry. Okay, here we go.
Understable and stable. And where that would pertain to me. It would be great if you guys could, give me help with that. Because picking a disc when I'm fairly still green around the edges. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
What you got?
EMAC Truths.
But yeah.
Start off with the EMAC Truth. Get 5 more. There you go.
You're gold.
So if I'm understanding what you're asking correctly, it's just what are the differences between understable, stable, and overstable discs for you, a newer player? Is that kind of what you guys understand as well?
Yeah, I think he's also asking for what discs are going to work well for me.
There you go. If you are a pretty new player, you're going to want to start with something probably lightweight and understable. That's going to get you your best flights out of the gate. So a great dynamic disc to start off with is something really, really neutral flying, even as slightly understable. The Maverick is a great driver for, I think, people who are starting off. It's going to either go straight for you or probably finish a little bit to the left for you, which is great. If it does finish a little bit to the left, then I think you're going to like something like the Dynamic Disc Witness, because that'll fly a little bit straighter and maybe even move to the right. You don't want to choose something that has a 0 turn or something like that, because that's going to be way too overstable and just dive to the left. You don't want that at all. Ideally, you want something that you can throw flat that flies straight. And for use, just starting out, understable discs are going to be better for that. So Witness is great for that. I know the Latitude 64 Maul is great for that. The Westside Seer is great for that. Lots of good options in that category.
Yeah.
Anything to add other than more EMAC truths?
More than well, I mean, obviously, putter. As far as your putter would go, I would say there's pretty much any putter that you can grab, whatever feels great in your hand. But yeah, I think starting out with a Maverick is actually a really good disc choice to kind of start your basis off of with and see how it flies for you, to see where you should go from there, if you should move up to or move down, I guess it would be, to the Witness, or maybe up to like a Renegade, something like that, further down the road.
All right, so that's all the questions we're going to answer. But for you YouTube people, first let's address the audio listeners, because we're still doing this as a podcast. I apologize if something was not works really well, since you're only listening to it on audio and we did anything visually. Hopefully you'll be able to go watch this episode on YouTube. But for our YouTube watchers, we're going to see if we can answer a few questions that are on here. Just to get, let's see. Someone asked about what plastics will the Maverick come in? All of them, someday. maybe. I don't know.
Probably not all of them.
It's hard to say what it will. I mean, the obvious are going to be the Lucid and the Fusion, which is what just about every disc comes out in. And then whether that comes out in like Prime or
Hybrid.
I'm sure BioFusion eventually. And we've said this before, Eric and I have said this before in past shows, if a disc is very popular, like the Maverick is becoming, it's something we try to offer in a lot more plastic because it just makes more sense to do
And
that.
it's more beginner friendly too,
That's
so
true.
you will probably see it in a lot more variety.
Right. Here's a question so John and Kelly Wood on here have said, they're saying saying things. Here we go. Was thinking about coming to the GBO to watch and to visit the DD store. Number 1, will I be able to see players easily? And number 2, does the store have a lot to offer, like more than the Kansas City store?
Yes and yes.
So number 1, the players are very accessible out here. And one of their follow-up questions was, are the pros accessible, or are they like pro athletes from different sports where they're kind of closed off or like above everyone else? And
yes. I mean, no.
Never meet Eric McCabe. He's very rude. No, I think across the board, disc golf pros are pretty accessible, pretty friendly to talk to. You're always going to have people with different personalities. So some will be more accessible than others. Some will spend, some time chatting with you. Some won't really be interested in talking to you.
I would say
that's just people, though.
I would say off the course, though, I can't think of a single top touring pro that if you approach are gonna like shun you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unless they just walked off a bad round.
And then,
that's maybe a little different. But yeah, absolutely. Come talk to people. It's such a good experience.
Yeah, definitely.
And yes, the Dynamic Disc store is probably 4 times the size.
Certainly worth making it.
Matthew asks, Bobby, what is your personal experience with swans and deputies? What is the difference? Yes, I putted with the swans for a little bit, and then I moved over to the deputy once it came out. I feel the deputy goes just a hair straighter than the swans did.
And it felt better in the hand, you said.
It did
for
feel
you,
better. The swan felt a little deep, not just a little bit.
The deputy's like relatively shallow as far as bars go. Yeah.
So that's why I chose to go ahead and just stick with the deputy. Let's see. Hey, EMAC, when are those lava EMACs coming back?
Good question.
Sometime.
I don't have an answer for it, though. They are, though. I have some.
Nice.
Joe says, what do you do to combat form and consistency regression?
Ooh.
Gosh. Field work, I'd say, is probably the biggest thing.
Time off.
Yeah, I mean, if you're having
It's my favorite thing.
Right. If you're just, everything isn't clicking and you're having difficulty remembering how you're supposed to throw, there are kind of 2 schools of thought. One is throw through it, right? Practice and practice and practice until you get it back. The other, like Eric said, is take some time off. Take a few days to even a week off so that when you come back, all you really have is muscle memory. You don't remember the bad habits that you formed before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a proponent of going to work things out in the field and just figuring it out and tinkering. But my muscle memory and like form and everything isn't as like perfectly ingrained as Eric's is because he's thrown the same for a really, really long time. So it's kind of, there are 2 schools of thought.
Yeah.
Either one could work well for you. I just saw a good question on here that I think you would like, Eric, or maybe you'd be able to help us with. It was from Tyler. He said, I played a tournament this past weekend with 50-mile-an-hour winds. How do you go about putting in that kind of wind?
You
curl up in a ball.
Yep.
Lie on the ground.
Crying.
Yeah. Try not to cry. Immediately start crying.
Honestly, when it's that windy, and I think we've all played in wind like that. Maybe Bobby hasn't. I don't know. But
I played a couple times at
that's been
Pawhuska a
super
long time.
windy. Yeah.
Pawhuska.
Honestly, what I'll do is I will lay up every putt outside of 15 feet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if it's a massive headwind, to me, it's if you miss, there's a good chance that you're going to be further away than you just were. From, if it hits the ground weird and then the wind just takes it and starts rolling. I mean, we've all seen the videos. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be on that video.
You want to be on video for different reasons.
Yes. So yeah, I honestly, when it's that windy, you're just trying to play for par or just trying to eliminate as many extra dumb strokes as possible. So when it is that windy out, there is no shame in just getting that disc underneath the pin.
Yep.
Just And even putting with like a not putting with it, but obviously I like the layup with either a super soft Justice or something that's going to kind of grab the ground a little bit and have less tendencies to pop up and roll away or do something weird.
Definitely.
But I absolutely love the just lay it up.
Yeah, and just change your expectations too. Like you said, pars are going to be great on days like that. Honestly, even bogeys might be great depending on how difficult the hole is.
Yep.
So yeah, temper your expectations for sure.
Did you guys see that video that Jordan Castro put
Yes.
out?
Awful.
Elevated.
Said
And he's
Mondays.
what, like 4 feet away?
Elevated basket. I mean, it's over his head. So
he was just far enough away that he couldn't dunk it.
That he couldn't just dunk it.
He had to throw it.
And he put it in sideways and even kind of upside down, which was smart. And it hit the pole and went out the left side of the basket.
And then about
Wind
what,
just blew
10,
it
12
out.
feet away.
Oh, that's so awful, man.
All right, guys, well, we're going to try to keep these at about an hour, so we're going to go ahead and sign off for now, but thank you so much for tuning in for our first live episode of Disc Golf Answer Man. If you're watching this later or even watching it now, because I know the chat stays with the video now. Did you know, guys know it did that on YouTube? Yeah. Whereas the live chat would go away, now the live chat stays with the video,
That's
much like
cool.
on Facebook. So if you really enjoyed us doing this live, let us know in the comments below so we know that we're doing the right thing as far as bringing you these episodes. If you're listening to this on the audio podcast later on, try to tune in if you can, or go watch it later. We're gonna right now Tuesday 1:30 seems to be good. We had a good amount of people on here, so 1:30 Tuesday seemed to work out pretty good. We might flirt around with some different times in the future. Probably not till after GBO, just because so much GBO stuff is going on. But we really enjoyed doing this, and we really enjoy you guys listening and you guys watching for sure. Make sure again you pick up those Disc Golf Answer Man T-shirts. Let us know you appreciate the show. And make sure you show off those Disc Golf Answer Man T-shirts. And hopefully we'll see you guys out as we do some more traveling.
Yeah.
I know I'm traveling.
I'll be doing some traveling.
Where are you traveling to?
Not this coming weekend, but the following. Myself, Danny Lindahl, Corey Obermeyer, and Brian Shintaku, we're all going to go to Arkansas for the Vintage Open, presented by Dynamic Discs.
Nice.
So we're going to go play the Frisbee.
Play the Frisbee.
Yeah.
I've got ridiculous amounts of travel coming up.
Yep.
Like Arizona.
You look mad.
No, I'm excited. Arizona. I'll be in Arizona and Nashville before GBO.
Wow. I'm going to Bowling Green.
Yep.
For the
Bowling Green Amateur Championships.
Bowling Green Ams. And then after that, for like a day,
Northwest Arkansas.
In Northwest Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
If you're in the Northwest Arkansas area, we have a Dynamic Disc store opening up. April 21st is the grand opening. Matt Lloyd is going to kill it. I know he is because he kills it out on the road doing his RV thing. He's just he's amazing. He just puts his heart into it. I know he's going to do the exact same thing at the store. April 21st, be there. Me and Jeremy Rusko will be there for the grand opening, and it's going to be really cool. Cool, guys?
Good times.
All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bicycle.